Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is a special video edition of Inside the Force. I have with me here a very special guest. This is Andrew, or Andy, he might be called, I don't know. Andy Smith, local to Lexington, Kentucky. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm really pretty excited.
We work together. We work at Woodford County High School. But this video is mainly going to be about our reactions and our speculations for the Star Wars Rogue One trailer. Now, you'll be able to catch a more extended interview with Andy here. Probably on Inside the Force, we might have a separate video with just the audio portion, or might put it right in the show. Look forward to that. But we are going to go ahead and jump right on in to reviewing and critiquing, speculating everything about the Rogue One trailer. So I'll start off with you because they've already heard my huge spiel of it. But so what was your general expectation of Rogue One before you even saw the trailer? What were you expecting to see?
Honestly, I didn't have much of an expectation. All I know is that you have the story, we know what it's about, and I think that that I want to hear the story. I want to see how they're going to present it because it's such a blank slate. And we talked about that, the fact that there's such a cool story to be told here, and that I just want to see what it's going to look like. I didn't know what to think, and I'm somebody who purposely avoids all of the stuff until the thing comes out. Like
me as well.
I make a huge effort to try and not know,
right?
Because if I start to put things together, you start to put there's this little puzzle piece, and I happen to know this little fact, and if this is connected,
you're a smart guy.
Before it all knows, then I have Casey Cooley style. I can tell the whole movie an hour before it starts.
So, what did you know before? Before you saw the trailer, what have you known about the story for this movie in particular? Have you known much about the story at all?
All I knew, the only thing that I had heard was that it was going to be a heist movie,
right?
A Star Wars heist movie,
right?
And that the only other thing that I had heard was that we're going to see Darth Vader be Darth Vader, and I had heard the brutality of the Sith Lord was going to be there, and I was thinking, well, how far are they going to go with it? Mm-hmm. And are they going to go far enough? Are they going to really show him being hardcore and cold? Right. I feel like what we saw in the trailer was one of those, wow, they really could go dark here.
Yeah.
They had some, as we've talked about, some beautiful shots.
Right.
And I thought maybe they really are going to do it. Maybe they're really going to show Darth Vader doing some bad stuff, or at least suggesting that maybe we'll see aftermath. How are they going to tell the story? It would be really interesting.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and jump right on into the actual trailer. So when you saw it, I was the one that actually put it on your computer. Thursday morning.
I walked into my room and it was just up, and my students told me, "Oh, Mr. Cooley was just here, and I think he left you something." and one student was like sitting in front of my desk, kind of bouncing up and down, like just excited.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just.
That's great. There
have
you
you
go.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
And,
and so I think I watched it, and then I think I texted you back. Just period.
Thank you. Yeah. No, incredible. Oh, it was such a roller coaster experience just watching the trailer itself, seen it 1,000 times.
Right.
So what? I mean, we were obviously at work, so you probably couldn't react as much as you wanted to. Right. But what was your initial reaction after seeing the trailer?
Oh, I was excited. Yeah. I was thinking, well, because you can go any direction. You don't know if they're going to lighten up after The Force Awakens came out. Are they going to try and lighten the feel? Yeah. Are they going to try and maybe tell us a fun story, or are they going to really try and tell us a dark story? Yeah. And it was pretty clear that this is going to be, especially for Star Wars, pretty dark. So my initial response was, wow. Yeah. I mean, just the way, and I was really excited to see a female character again.
Yeah, we got another
strong
one.
Female character, and I know I've actually read a few things about that, but I think I was excited to see somebody, the subtleties of just the way she responds, and seeming that there's some tension there, and you can feel that through the trailer. I was excited about that. I was really excited to see AT-ATs.
Yes,
and see
it modify too a little bit.
And see kind of a Butch Cassidy Sundance Kid thing happening, and the characters coming running out. Yeah. I was really excited about that. Yeah. Just to kind of see, you get the sense that that's maybe a run, like, okay. And it's that moment. They were probably stashed right. You're starting to tell stories. See, that's what we do. You see little bits, and you're like, I'll bet you they were pinned down, and like, oh, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And they had that moment, that Western moment. I think I thought it was really cool to see a Star Wars trailer without any lightsabers in it.
That's true. Yeah.
And still be excited.
Absolutely, that's a very good point. Yeah, and they said that there might be no Jedis at all. Probably will be no Jedis at all. Doesn't mean we might not get Force sensitive characters, which we can talk about, or even dark side users, which we'll get into that. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So start off the trailer. We see Felicity Jones.
Right.
We see her character.
Right.
What was your initial reaction to just seeing the main hero of Jen Urso? Actually, is her name.
Well, I think watching it, you're going, is that going to be our primary character? And then you hear that opening questioning.
Yeah.
And that's the heist movie piece. You see a little Ocean's 11 reference right there.
Yeah.
See that moment. But watching her and just the tight shots on her face, I don't. I know she's done some really good movies. She was
Theory of Everything was one big one.
Was the big one. But I think that watching her expression and seeing her face, just obviously she's being a little snarky.
Yeah.
At the yes sir.
I rebel.
And I rebel. Yeah, right. So I saw it the first time. Wow, she's awesome.
Yeah.
But then coming back and went, wow, man. Well, does this connect to that little last shot?
Oh, the
final shot.
Just as an Imperial pilot, or just Imperial?
Yeah. Are we seeing? Are they trying to make? Are they leading us down?
Yeah. Well,
a path, or are they telling us that maybe she's not who she thinks she is, or maybe she's not who we think she is.
That is the question. But so, what do you think? What do you think about that shot at the very end?
Just because it's Star Wars, I tend to think that she's infiltrating.
That's the heist part.
Yeah, that's the moment where she turns, or it could be an opening scene. It could be early in the movie where we see her dressed as a pilot for some reason. It could even be a dream moment.
Sure.
I thought about that as kind of it could be a moment where she sees herself.
Mm-hmm. Almost like a Luke dark side cave.
Right. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's connected with the Forrest Whitaker line, what will you become? Or are they just teasing us? Are they just gonna say, you know what? We're putting this question out there and we're gonna let you play with it.
This is full of teases.
Right.
Before we get to, I think, one of the big teases that we can talk about, but let's move on to what seems to be our co-star, the male role. Diego Luna is the actor. We don't have a name for him yet, but if you recall in the trailer, he's the Hispanic man, gentleman with the captain with the goatee there. Kind of looks like Han Solo-esque in a way. He has that kind of like fold-over shirt that he wears.
But they're obviously connected.
They are, yeah. So there are some rumors about him. Some people are connecting him to an Expanded Universe or Legends character, Kyle Katarn, because both these characters, the Jyn Erso character and this Diego Luna character, they closely resemble these two characters from the Expanded Universe. Now, whether or not they go down that route, not sure. But some people say that he might be like a Force-sensitive character. We don't get anything from him in the trailer, but I don't know if you've heard anything. Or...
No, I haven't heard much. But with that, you have to remember that we're in that timeline where, as far as anybody knows, there aren't any Jedi.
Correct. Yeah.
And as far as anybody knows, like you get the sense that there are stories. I mean, you go back to Han Solo's line of "It's all true." So how far has the Empire gone at this point to eliminate any sense of, well, no, the only Force sensitive people you need to be concerned with are people like Darth Vader. Right. But you also have in Star Wars, you have the line about your ancient religion. You haven't given you clairvoyance enough and all that stuff. Yeah. So you have people who don't understand at this point in the timeline. When you say the Force, they kind of giggle at you. Yeah. And so there's probably, with his character, maybe not even an understanding of what he is in the universe itself.
That's a very good point. And not to tell where in the world is the Rebel, the Spectre crew. Kanan and Ezra, those guys. Who knows where they are at this point? I mean, that's a whole other thing we could do all together later. But
could be on the street in one of those.
It could be in these ships somewhere and they're flying around there. Who knows? Before this guy comes into play. But I mean, the other characters, we got glimpses of the Forrest Whitaker character. I mean, we could talk links about that character.
He's so fascinating.
They say he's supposed to have a peg leg or something, which looks like the case. Looks like he's limping in one shot. I mean, you had some interesting theories about what kind of character he could be, just simply about how he's dressed.
Oh well, I mean, he has a breather.
Yeah,
and then
got a little something there.
But he's also got armor that looks like he's been in combat.
Right. Yeah.
So he's got something that's protecting his face. He looks like he's got a battle side. Looks like he's got a battle side, a fighting side, because he's got the high armor over
his neck
over his neck, and that's probably his protecting side. And he's got an action side.
Right.
But you also get the wisdom sense from him because that's Forrest Whitaker, so you get that. But I don't know. You get the sense that he's been through it, and maybe he's an old soldier, maybe he's a bounty hunter. I think he's probably at the very least a pirate, and I get the sense that he's probably a former soldier.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's
and
definitely
then
a possibility.
maybe he's gone into a different life.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that, the breather and all of that. I don't know. It's very the armor is very it's very Star Wars, but it's very.
True. Seems very experienced. Like he's just traveled or seen a lot. Like you said, like he's had this one life. Maybe this is a different path of his life.
Right.
I think he's gonna be a very interesting character. Honestly, I don't know if that part where he's talking, we see that shot of him. It says, "If you continue to fight,
what you become." Yeah.
That's almost as if like his last words in a way. I don't know. Like before he gets dust. I don't know if he could be talking to Jin, like we were thinking he is talking to Jin, but he could be talking to someone else.
And we don't know if he's gonna be. If that's a moment, and then he's done.
True.
And so we have our guy passing on some sort of wisdom.
Yeah.
He could be Jen's Obi-Wan. He could have been her mentor type. And you know, you get that
common theme in Star Wars movies.
Right. And so you get your Joseph Campbell stuff in there, right? So you pass it on. But I think he could be. I really think he could be like her mentor, and as is the story, he's going to get offed.
Very true. Yeah, to spark, to push that journey along its path. So we have another character, a villain, probably our main villain. Don't have the name yet. He's an admiral, Imperial Admiral.
A Grand Admiral, at least.
Maybe Grand. If that's, I mean, again, because that's expanded universe. There hasn't been an official Grand Admiral, I don't believe, in the canon.
It could just be a Moff, Grand Moff.
Moff. Yeah.
Grand Moff. Sorry.
You never know.
If he's a Grand Moff, though, okay. So I counted.
You gotta look at the insignia. So what'd you find?
12.
12. So that's the same. That's
the Grand Moff. That's the same.
But the colors, though, also you gotta look at.
They're the same.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's the same that I looked at was Tarkin has two.
Yeah. So
does he on either side.
So he might be just a Moff or just a high-ranking admiral of some sort, because there's some graphs out there that show the insignias and show it's. I've seen admiral. I've seen vice admiral. So there's some inconsistencies there.
But you don't have characters that are allowed the character with the cape. You don't have characters that are allowed until you get up to a certain point.
Yeah.
You're not allowed the Empire.
Yeah,
well, the Empire, you don't get a cape until you get to a certain point.
It's true. Yeah. No other Moff or admiral that we saw in A New Hope there.
Right. And he could just be a director of a special task force.
That's one of the rumors, that he's intelligence or he's something like that. Don't have a name for him yet. Played by Ben Mendelsohn. He looks phenomenal just in the two shots we got of him.
It's fantastic.
Standing in the Death Star control room and then walking through the waters.
But I don't know. I think
I
think he's a Moff. I think
he could be. I mean, he could very well.
Because there's a lot of talk in the EU of the getting rid of them. I thought we got rid of the last Moffs with, and
you get the governors to control all the stations, all the systems. Yeah. So again, who knows? But okay, so let's get to the big speculation that we'll finish out this video with. The hooded character in this trailer. We got one brief shot of this hooded guy kneeling down in front of a tank. Could be a Bacta tank. It could be some kind of cryo freezing tank with two Imperial guards on either side of him. Right. So we just have a theory that I just heard of this morning. But before we get into that, who did you think that hooded character?
Who did I think it was?
Who do you think it was? Who do you think it's going to be?
Initially, my first thought as you start to run down the list, I was like, well, what if they gave Vader a hood this time? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
that'd be neat. After that, there's some thought that maybe he was the character who we haven't seen yet, the scientist.
True, the guy who developed the plans of the Death Star, who rumor is supposed to be Jin's father.
Right.
So it could be him, absolutely.
But it would be hard to think of a scientist who's about ready to turn around, or a scientist at all wearing a hood.
Yeah.
Why would he have a cape and hood?
Black cloak, hood.
Right.
Yeah, it's very telling.
It could have been, and this was another thought that we talked about, I think, initially, was what if it's a Vader apprentice type?
True, yeah.
And we had talked about the fact that it could have been and that Vader's actually in the tank, and he's going in, because he's getting ready to kneel. Obviously, he's kneeling.
Yeah, to his
as they cut away from
Vader. Yeah.
And they give you just enough reveal of that tank to make you take a deep breath.
And Hayden Christensen's in there.
Okay.
Or not.
All right. Really?
Maybe, or David Prowse.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Anyways,
that would be cooler.
that'd be cool,
but I think
big eyebrows. Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah, and that stare. But I think it could be either of those. And my initial thought was, does Vader have a apprentice? I think after I went down the list, I went, well, it could be that.
Yeah.
Because we know that he can't exist outside of the suit, and that is a back to tank or something like that.
Right.
But that doesn't. I mean, none of my theories hold a candle to the one you heard today, and the one that we talked about today with a colleague.
Oh, good gosh. Okay. This is gonna be the first time. I mean, I'll mention it. We'll mention it on the show.
Okay. You not want it? You don't.
No, we'll talk about. We're gonna talk about it now.
All right.
We'll just get initial thoughts. But we'll go more in detail probably on the show. So this morning, a colleague of ours, another Star Wars fan, gave me a theory of what he thinks, who he thinks. And I actually have seen this other places online. So it's not, unfortunately, we're not the originators of this idea. But the hooded character could very well be the Emperor. Because those royal guards usually they've only seen him appear with the Emperor in the films. So that could be the Emperor, Palpatine, Sheev Palpatine. That's his first name. Did you know that? No.
Dang.
Yeah, that's a new thing.
That's a good one.
That's Sheev, yeah.
What?
Yeah. Sheev Palpatine kneeling down, but who could he be kneeling down to? Because he's not submissive to anybody.
Wait for it.
Maybe it's Darth Plagueis in that tube. I would drop the mic, but it's going to make a loud sound.
Bam.
In the thing. But Darth Plagueis
Mic
in
drop.
that cryo tube, back to tank, whatever it could be, and Palpatine's there. Why? How? What do you think? Wow. That's indeed a word to describe it.
This is one of those.
That's a big thing.
But it could be. And then
Very
all
well
of a
could
sudden,
be.
those puzzle pieces that we talked about start to get put into place for.
But like if it connects to Force Awakens, if Plagueis is Snoke, this could explain how he's been surviving this whole time.
Right.
Or if it's not Plagueis or Snoke, maybe it's just Snoke in there. I don't know, and he just found this other guy. But it is likely, knowing some of the EU stories. Actually, there's even some canon stories of keeping Jedi bodies for their blood, for the midichlorians, all that kind of stuff. So, Emperor could be using Plagueis' body, keeping it mostly alive, to keep himself alive, because Plagueis kept himself alive through the Force. So maybe Emperor is using Plagueis' blood to get that midichlorian, to get that power, so he can prolong his own life. There could be an element to that, or maybe there's something else there. I don't know, but definitely. I mean, do you think it's possible? You think it's?
I think it's possible. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, after seeing the movie that we saw, and I think anything's possible. And I think that's one of the best theories I've heard so far.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And you have to be careful with your theories, because a lot of times they're dead on. So you have to. Didn't
come from me this time, but this is one that I think
you like it.
I really like this theory.
Yeah.
And I think it could definitely work. Cause I'm getting very excited thinking about it.
This could be it. Yeah. And if you nail it, and you're not here tomorrow, I'll know why. After this airs, if he's not around, we'll know that he's been put in a closet somewhere by
the Disney execs. That's a huge bombshell. We'll talk incredible length about it probably on our next episodes of Inside the Force this week. So please stay tuned for that. Andy, do you have any last thoughts about Rogue One, about the trailer, about just what your expectations going into the movie?
As a longtime Star Wars fan, by long time I mean first memories, long time.
Yeah.
It's been hard for me to be excited for this extended amount of time.
Right.
I am really psyched to see Star Wars, as I used to think of it as a kid, continue to play out on the screen.
That's cool. So are you more excited for this than Force Awakens, or is it about where does that stay?
I have this separate compartments for these two films, because these are the stories that we're hearing now that we would make up and play out
as kids. As kids, toys.
Or not the toys, but that's we'd play these out. So I mean, I'm thinking this is one of those stories, and so I'm just excited to see, and it's exciting to see it not washed over. Not looking animated. Yeah. And
it looks rough and gritty.
And those wide shots. And it's exciting. I think I can leave it to to that. This is one of the few times where I saw a trailer and then went online immediately and started typing in questions and just going to think, thinking about, okay, do I know this? Do I know that?
Yeah.
And is this is that story where how'd you get the plans? And then the other thing that we didn't talk about, Casey, real quick, was just that if this is going to make that scene with Leia and Vader in Star Wars, like carries so much more weight because she's looking. We have Leia looking at Vader. No, we know now that these plans have been stolen and how they got there, and.
They're in Leia's hands.
And Leia's got him, and she's looking right at Sith Lord Vader and saying, only you could be so bold. Like, really? Like,
people have died. There's been battles and wars for this.
Right. And we've seen probably people who are close to her at this point who don't exist anymore, I would imagine, after this movie is over with. And she's looking him in the face and then like, what? Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And that whole scene and Vader coming into the white hallway.
Yeah, he's gotten to this point after being through all of this battle. Now he's almost got the plans in his hands.
And she looks at him and says, "I'm not blinking."
Yeah,
that just tells you, just adds to her story so much more.
Absolutely, great. Well, that's a great point to leave it off. We will conclude this video, but please. Listen to we'll probably do a special edition episode with a further interview between Andy and I, getting into detail about Andy's story and history with Star Wars and how it's influenced his life and his opinion on just everything that's happened, since this crazy Disney merger and all the films and all that awesome stuff. So, without further ado, I'd like to thank Andy Smith here for joining me in this video. Andy.
Yeah, that's been fun. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I mean, we've been talking about this for a while. We shake hands, No, we've been talking about this for a while. This has been great.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out all our other videos on our YouTube channel, on the 21 Network YouTube channel. Go to InsideTheForce.com to listen to all of our episodes and to listen to our special edition episode with Andy Smith. Thank you for watching. I'm not going to do the sign-off that Dave usually does. That's his thing. So I'll just leave it off with thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for more awesome content.